All right, let's take a look at topic number 20, application of volumes. So you probably seen this back in Math 106. So here we're just gonna um, look at them again and look at a couple of different examples as well. Now we will talk more about this particular application of volumes in Math 168. Okay, so here we're just gonna try to lay some foundations to find. Let me put this on the side. To find area. All right, from last time, to find area, we normally just take how long the base is times how tall it is, the height. Base times height is your most fundamental area formula. You know, even like length times width. Well, length is the base, width is the height. So length times width is the same as saying base times height. Side times side, doesn't matter what letters we use for the different shapes. The key idea is to find area, we take the base times the height. Perimeter is simply add all the sides. That's how you find the distance all the way around a particular shape. To find volume, okay, the key concept of finding volume is take the area of the base and then times the height of your volume. Okay, so what you're gonna find here on the lecture handout and here in the video is the front part of the volume formula is about the area of the base, and then we times the height. So this is called a rectangular solid, okay? Or another word for these volumes, we call them prism. So this rectangular solid is also called rectangular prism, and the name itself comes from what the base is. Okay, so for rectangular solid, the base is a rectangle. So to find the volume, we will find the area of the base first. I'm gonna highlight that part. Area of the base, length times width, and then we times the height of my prism. All right, we know what a cube is. A cube is psi to the third power. Okay, and I kind of drew this before. A cube, it means you literally have a cube. But if you take a look at this s to the third power, it means s times s times s, right? From the exponents that we learned. So again, to find the volume, we find the area of our square base and then times the height. Okay, that's where the third s comes in. All right. Sphere, perfectly rounded ball. Okay, perfectly rounded ball. It's actually going to have a full third in front of it times the radius to the third power. Again, three-dimensional, there's got to be three things being multiplied. Okay, we actually multiply three different radius. All right, right circular cylinder. I want to emphasize on the word right. The word right. Okay, sometimes you will hear the word right rectangular solid or rectangular prism. The word right in front of it means right angles. So what that means is the height of your cylinder or your whatever prism you're working with, the height and the base is always perpendicular. Okay, just like the area formula that I showed you last time. You know, if you have a triangle, how do you know which side is the base of the triangle? If I will give you three sides, 2, 3, 4. If I give you three numbers, I'll give you all three sides. Which side is the base? Well, that will be determined by where the height is perpendicular with which side. So if I would draw this way and then say that's 90 degrees right here. So that means this is your height, and the height and the base is always perpendicular. So that means 3 is actually the base, okay? So remember, height and the base is always perpendicular. to find the volume of a right circular cylinder, we find the area of the base, which is pi r squared. Then we times the height of the cylinder. All right, so right here again, right, okay. Same thing is right here. Right circular cone, okay. Square pyramid, or you can, I don't like the word square. I just like the word pyramid. The word square here tells me what kind of base it is. So for a prism to exist, for this word to exist, the base is a polygon. All right. So I can have a prism where my base is actually a square. Okay. I can have, but it's not a cube. So it really based on it really depends on what the base is. To find volume, we owe it to the area of the base times the height. So depends on what kind of bases you have. I can have a rectangular solid, but with a square base. But we don't call that a cube because your height can actually be longer. Now for cylinders and cones, the base has to be a circle. Okay, so those type of formula is kind of locked in a little bit. But for pyramids, this is a square pyramid. That's the reason why here it says side square. That's your area of the base. If my base of a pyramid is a rectangular pyramid, that means the area of the base will be length times width. Then we times the height, okay? So the area formula can change, depends on what kind of base it is. Not for cone, okay? Cone, you got to have a circular base. So area of the base, which is pi r squared times the height. Now there's a 1/3 in front of the cone and the pyramid. What that means is, what this 1/3 mean is, if you have a cylinder and a cone with the same height and the same radius, then if you take this cone, flip it over and shove it inside the cylinder, then this cone is going to be exactly 1/3 of a volume compared to a cylinder. Okay, that's what that 1/3 means. Because you know, the volume formula look kind of the same, right? Cylinder is pi r squared times the height. So for the cone, you got 1/3 in front of it. That means this is 1/3 of a cylinder. All right, is everybody okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we are not going to do surface areas in this class. We will talk more about the surface area of these prisms and cones in Math 168. Here, I just want to establish, to find the volume, we always take the area of the base times the height. All right. Now, you gotta forgive me. I copied these problems from various sources, so sometimes they don't label as well. So when you see this problem right here, find the volume around the 2 decimal places. When you see the dimension, it's kind of tell you that this is a what? This is a cube, right? So to find the volume, we will take the area of the base. We find the area of the base, which is side times side, because I have a square base, then times the height. So here you can say 11 times itself 3 times, or 11 to the 3rd power. All right, so this problem, I don't think we will need to round because the answer is kind of exact. All right, 1331. Cubic meter. I'm gonna purposely write down the unit so we know what we're dealing with. All right, for this one, if you look at the dimension, this is actually a rectangular prism or rectangular solid. So to find the volume, we will find the area of my rectangle base, length times width. Then I'm going to times the height of my prism. So that gives me 12 times 5 times 8. So on the homework, on the test, they're all going to say round to 2 decimal places, okay, if needed. So if it's the exact answer, you don't have to round, you can just type it in. 12 times 5 times 8. All right, that's going to be 480 cubic feet. All right, so I'm just run through this formula real quick, okay? So like this picture is not drawn very well because there should be, so if this dashed line up and down is the height, okay, that means there should be a 90-degree angle here. But this 9 is supposed to be inside of it. They put on the outside, so maybe it's a little bit easier to read, maybe like that, okay? All right, for a cone, excuse me, for a cylinder, the volume will be area of my circle base, which is pi r squared. Then we times the height. All right, so the 12 feet based on the dashed line is the radius. So I don't need to do anything special. So here we use the pi key times 12 squared times 9. All right, I'm gonna punch it in, okay? All right, true pi times 12 raising to the second power times 9. All right, 2 decimal places will be 0.50. Cubic feet. Now I would like you to take a look at this. Oh, by the way, I did not say this earlier. How do you know this shape is a pyramid? Pyramid has a very specific characteristic. All right, you'll see this point on the very, very top, just like the cone. Cone also has a tip. This tip on the top, or it can be sideways, whatever. This tip is called the apex. All right, apex is where all the sides coming to a single point. All right, so if the bottom has 4 sides, that means there's going to be 4 lines going up. Okay, go to the apex. Going to be 4 lines go to the apex. So that's how we know this is a pyramid. Now, quick question. Well, maybe not so quick. If I go back to this picture and take a look at rectangular solid, how many bases does rectangular solid has? How many bases does it have? Ooh. Hello, you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rectangular solid has how many bases?
4.
Nope.
2.
Just 2. Remember, it's called rectangular solid or prism because the base is a rectangle. So we have base down here, base on the top. Cube also have 2 bases. It just turns out, it doesn't matter how you roll the cube around, all the bases are square.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So prism always has 2 bases. Cylinder has 2 bases. Circle got to be the base. That's why we call them circular cylinder. But what about cones and pyramid? Cones and pyramid has how many bases?
1.
Just 1. Okay. It's just 1 because the other side is actually the apex. So that's how you kind of know what shape are you looking at, because you have these 5 basic ones. There's actually 5 basic ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Cube is just like a cube. It's basically the same thing as a rectangular solid. Those are considered as prisms. Now this picture is a little bit better picture because here we see a 90-degree angle. You got to find this 90-degree angle. If you have it, then they tell you that this is the height. So the line here telling me the height is 6. So this is a pyramid. This pyramid has what kind of base?
One.
What kind? What's the shape
kind?
of the base?
It's a rectangle. It looks like.
Okay, so this is a rectangular pyramid. So to find the volume of a pyramid, there's always a 1/3 in front of it. Then we're gonna write out the area of my rectangle base, which is length times width, then times the height, which is 6. So here I'm gonna say 1/3 times the length is 8, we can say 8. The width is 5 centimeters times the height 6. So that will give me about what, 80, right? Cubic centimeters. Okay, now here I actually have a right angle here, but it's not drawn very well. All right, so this got to be the center. So right now, if this is the center where the right angle is, that class, that tells us that the 5-inch is your height. The 3-inch got to be your radius. So to find the volume of a circular cone, once again, is 1/3 times. All right, cone has a circle base, so that will be pi r squared, then times the height. So this is 1/3 times the pi key times radius 3 squared times 5. Then we're just gonna punch it all in.
Oh.
Times 3 squared times 5. Okay. 47.12 cubic inch. All right. Now I add this dashed line here. Maybe I should have added a center. So this is the sphere. So the sphere formula is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. Okay. So while you got these handouts with you, make sure you know what the formulas are. I think I uploaded the formula sheet before as well. Yeah, I did upload the formula sheet too for y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and write it out. This is 4/3 times the pi times 6 cubed. Times 6 raised into the 3rd power. Okay, now it's 4.78 cubic inch. All right, no problem. Let's take a look at this. This is not a very good picture, but it's okay. All right. Is this a prism, pyramid, cone, sphere, or cylinder? Which one of the 5 type is this picture right here? Which one of the 5 type? What do y'all think? Remember, a pyramid, it's not a cone, it's not a cylinder or sphere. Remember, a pyramid, all the sides come to a single apex, single point. Not in this case. Okay, not in this case. because not all the sides actually come to a single point. So this got to be a prism. If this is a prism, if this is a prism, then what kind of prism is it?
Would it be a rectangular because the base?
Very good. That's what a lot of students, that's what a lot of people thought. This is a rectangular prism.
Oh.
But remember, to be a prism, base got to be a polygon.
Oh,
and
two.
a prism got to have how many bases?
2.
That's right. So this is only one rectangle. Okay. Because remember, the bases are congruent. The two bases got to be exactly the same. Okay. So here, the big rectangle that facing us and the other one facing the other side is actually not congruent. A lot of people thought they are congruent. They are not, because the length is different. The sides of this triangle facing to the right or left is different lengths. So this is actually a what? A triangular prism. Because you remember, take a look at this picture and then kind of flip it over. Then the two triangles will actually be the base, because the two triangles are congruent.
Okay.
So the 24 got to be the height of my triangle. Okay. The 14 down here got to be the base. So what is the 25 referring to?
Is referring to the two sides of, those two sides of the triangle.
That's right. That's the two sides of the triangle. Okay. So now the reason why I wrote down so much formula earlier, so I can show you, remember, the volume is always the area of the base. This is how we denote it. No, backwards. Area of the base times the height. So right now, my base is a triangle. So what is the area of a triangle? Half times base times height. Then we're gonna times the actual height of the prism. So just imagine this thing, this picture, this shape get tipped over, have the triangle in the bottom, then make the 27 as the actual height of the prism. All right, 0.5 times the base of my triangle, 14. The height of my triangle, 24. There you go. So that would be what we're going to key in. So this part, half times base times height, is the area of my triangle base. .5 times 14 times 27 times 27 times 24. All right, so that'll be 4536. Cubic centimeters. Okay, now take a look at this one again. This picture, right? You see the rectangle in the bottom is bigger than this left surface over the right surface. So again, this problem is another rectangular prism, because the two bases got to be the triangle. The two triangles are congruent. So this time they didn't give me the, like earlier, the 25 and 25. They just give me straight up. So as a matter of fact, see this little thing right here? That's actually a dash line where the 90-degree angle was marked. So when I copied over, it didn't quite show that well. 0.5 times the base of a triangle is 10. The height of a triangle is 6, and then times 20. Okay, so that's gonna be what, 600 cubic centimeter. Okay, so in this video, we could kind of quickly talk about the volume formula for the 5 basic shape. Okay, the pyramid, the cone, the circular cylinder, sphere, and your prisms. All right, so that will conclude this video. Thank you for watching.